we're going to start this season off a little bit differently than what we normally would. I was thinking, I haven't really paid any attention to like the World Player of the Year awards and the World Team of the Year awards and things like that. So I thought I'm going to have a quick look. And much to my surprise, in the all-time World Team of the Year, we have Alejandro Lemoine, former Montego Bay United winger that we signed from Emelec, sold to Porto, and basically funded us for the next 20-odd seasons, is one of the best footballers ever. To which I thought, let's have a quick check of the more recent seasons. Lemoine is still there, which is always good to see. No one else, I believe, from our team is in the starting 11, but we do have Bogdan Mladenovic, who is on the subs bench. We've gone back another season or so. We've got Lemoine on the subs bench. I don't think there's anyone else of ours. And then we go back one more season, and we literally have Adamar Aguiar in the starting 11 of the World Team of the Year in 2054. I know he was obviously good. We sold him to Arsenal. He scored stupid amounts of goals. But the fact that he's in the starting 11 is kind of ridiculous. If we keep going back, I don't think we're going to have anyone else, right? Surely. I'm just looking now for Montego Bay United. There's Al Fatah is in there with Roger Coates, which, fair enough. He's also there in that one as well. Most of the teams are kind of the same ones over and over again. So I don't think there is any of our players in here. I mean, if you're quick enough, you might be able to spot some of our former players who we might have sold on, who got really good at some point. I think we're probably going a little bit too far back. It's quite funny for me to see Mateus Fernandes, who was obviously former Southampton player on there. Fair enough, obviously now at West Ham. But we're not done, by the way, because the World Player of the Year, Lemoine has won it twice in a row. 2050, 2051 is when Lemoine won it. Did we get Aguiar in here? We didn't. He was also second place in that season. So, yeah, we sold a very good footballer, didn't we? Don't think there's going to be anyone else of ours that maybe have like broken onto this list. Obviously, we've had some very good players, but for the most part, they've not been world class. They've just been really good. Lemoine is still actually winning it. 33 years of age, second place, World Footballer of the Year. If we go to the World Golden Ball, I'm not sure. I don't know the difference between any of these, but yeah, there's things. Things are happening as well. So I think Lemoine's there. There you go. He's won another one. We're not going to go to the under-21 footballers, but basically what I'm saying is my scouting was really good for Lemoine, and I guess Aguiar. Everyone else not amazing, but still pretty good. Anyway, it is the 17th of May. We've just spent the first 5 minutes of this season chatting about absolute nonsense. We, for a Jamaican national side, will be in the North American Gold Cup in 30 days' time, where we'll be up against Cuba, Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico in the group stages, so realistically we should be getting out of that. Realistically, we should be winning the whole thing because we are the reigning defending champions. For Montego Bay United, it is the usual competitions that we are going to be in. I don't think there's a Club World Championships this season. We have got £35.5 million to spend. We are over our wage budget, but realistically, we're not because we've got two people getting silly money, I think. And yeah, if we just sold one of them, we'll be fine. It's now the 1st of July, so the North American Gold Cup has kicked off. We'll get onto that in just a minute. But we have done some transfers, which I thought we'd tell you about immediately, because normally we don't do too many transfers on day one of the transfer window. John Michael Mighty has left the club, signing former Loins on a free transfer. And joining the club is Carson Ebanks, returning to the club after a, 14-year absence? That's a very big absence. He got released from his contract at Guillaume, and we have picked him up. Spent so much of his career playing in the MLS. Couple of seasons playing in France, and he has returned. He's probably never going to play for us, but I just saw he was available on a free, so why not pick him up? And somebody else who was available on a free, so why not pick him up, is Jordan McNary, who is a 23-year-old English defence midfielder, formerly of Chelsea. Also spent a couple of seasons on loan at Strasbourg by the looks of it. Yeah, he's played 20 matches his entire career. This one is obviously one that we need. I want him to get better. I don't think he's going to be able to play for us straight away, but as a defensive midfielder, he's got some good numbers in some good places. I do like the look of it. He is 23 though. He does need to kind of get good quickly, because I don't think he's going to be registered for the Jamaican Premier League for maybe this season, possibly even the one after. But that is the business so far. Financially, we've got £21 million to spend. We've kind of moved some money around, basically. And for our Jamaica side, we're into the semi-finals of the North American Gold Cup up against the USA. We have won our group with 3 wins, beating Puerto Rico, Cuba and Dominican Republic, conceding just 1 goal. In the quarterfinal, we just cruise straight past Honduras, 5-1, which sets up a semi-final up against USA. It is always the same 4 teams in the semi-final, every single Gold Cup by the looks of it. Anyway, let's jump forward then to the end of September. The transfer window will be closed. It's... Whoa, wait. We do have the Club World Championships, and we've already gone through the group stages. Right, how did I miss this? So we beat River, we then drew with PSG, and we beat Lazio. We are the defending champions of this, by the way. It means we have set up a second round match up against Tottenham, which I fear could be where we're going to fall down, because Tottenham are very good, okay? Tottenham are a very good team. Anyway, now let's jump to the start of September. The North American Gold Cup will be finished. The Club World Cup will also be finished, and so will the transfer window. So, in the Club World Cup, I was completely right. In France, we lose 4-0 against Tottenham, basically knocking us out pretty comfortably there. The competition was eventually won by Tottenham. So, you know what? I kind of feel a bit better the fact that we lost the eventual winners. Now, I would normally show you the highlights for the North American Gold Cup final. However, we played Mexico in the final. There were 13 goals scored, and I feel like this video is going to be about 25 minutes long just because of the goals. So, I'm just going to tell you what's happened. We were absolutely battered. We were 4-0 down after 26 minutes. We then pulled one back. It then went 5-1. Garcia with the goal. Glidden then scored early on in the second half for us. But then it went 6-2 to Mexico. Rodriguez with the goals there. We pulled 2 goals back, but obviously it was too little, too late at that point. McLaren Johnson with the goals. And then Silva with the final nail in the coffin on the 90th minute. It was actually quite a close game, but also not a close game at all when you think they did score 7 goals. To get to the final, by the way, we beat Honduras 5-1. We just about got past the USA on penalties, beating them 2-2, beating them on penalties. It was amazingly our player, or our former player, should I say, with the missed penalty, and our former player as well with the scored penalty. It's quite amusing, that. And for our Montego Bay United side, we have kicked things off. 2 wins so far in the Caribbean Cup, an 11-0 and a 3-1. And as we've already seen, we have sold Simon Skovtvedt. He has gone to Bayer for a bit of money, actually. We've got £400,000, so we did take a bit of a loss, but we've got his wages off the books, which is always good. Speaking of getting some wages off the books, Fabian Nunez has gone on loan to O'Higgins in his native Argentina. They are paying quite a lot of money. It's like £120,000 to loan him, basically. So, you know what? He's fine. Also, he's out of contract at the end of the season, so we'll probably never see him again. That was a failed experiment. Another failed experiment is Yaman Al-Jawari, a player who we signed last season on a free transfer. He's immediately left, signing for Damak in Saudi Arabia for £725,000. I think there's a sell-on. Might not be 50% though. Damari Bradford is one of many, many players to move over to Mount Pleasant FC over the years on a free transfer. We just weren't really playing him, so he's basically taken up the option. Lamar Smickel as well is a player who has gone over to Mount Pleasant FC. He's gone for a little bit of money, £475,000, possibly going up to £600,000, which is a lot of money, but we did spend £2.5 million on him. So, you know what? We've taken a big loss. And finally, moving over to Watford in the Premier League is Demar Johnson for £2 million, or up to £2 million, with a 50% sell-on clause. This is a great sale, in my opinion, because he's not at a big Premier League side. If he gets good, he might get sold to a slightly bigger Premier League side for maybe 10, 15, 20 million pounds. The 50% sell-on is going to come in nice and handy whenever that eventually happens. Or we just sell the clause at some point for like £10 million is also an option. And that is it. We have not brought in anyone else other than McNary and Ebanks. We have loaned out a whole load of players. So Litwinow has gone. Nunez, as we know. Mullings. We've got Mitchell. We've got Batchelor. We've got Grant. We've also got Carrero. We've got Reynolds. We've got Ogachukwu. We've got Briggs, or Biggs. We've got Blaine, Wilby, Bro, and Ball, all going out on loan to various teams. Did I not spend any money as a little bit of a panic because this keeps going downwards? Yes, you are right. I am a bit concerned that we are running out of money. We've still got £28 million in the bank. It's a huge sum of money. But in the course of like 4 seasons, we've gone from £70 million and we've gone over half of it already. So in 4 seasons' time, we might be on 0. So I'm a bit worried. We've also got some new stuff to talk about. Gogi Kvatsenzi might be his name. He is a 51-year-old Georgian fictional man who has never had a job in his life, and we have brought him over to Jamaica for 2 reasons. Number 1, he's actually pretty good. Number 2, he is a perfectionist. Obviously, being a perfectionist is the best personality I believe you can get in the game. He also does play the 4-3-3 formation, so it means we're more likely to get players that suit our formation. If he played a 4-4-2, which I think my previous head of youth development did, we got lots of like central midfielders and right midfielders and left midfielders, which is a position we literally don't play. Also, Bobby, your days are numbered, my friend. Now, Gogi the Georgian was not the only coach that we managed to hire. We also hired Jaleel Ford, and you might notice He is a head of youth development, but he's not in as a head of youth development. He's in as a coach because he's utterly ridiculous as that as well. I didn't get him as a head of youth development because he's unambitious, but generally with 18s on most things for coaching, I'm okay with that. He's going to be great coaching youngsters as well, assuming he's allowed to do that. The level of discipline of 2 could be a worry. I don't think it's going to be too much to worry about though. Anyway, it's been a very busy start to this season. Let's jump forward then to just after Christmas, see how things go. We'll win the Caribbean Cup and we should be top of the Jamaican Premier League. Have we got anything to do for our Jamaican national side actually? We've got World Cup qualifiers. Almost certainly we're going to the World Cup, right? Although that's a tough group. Or not, it wasn't in any doubt at all. We win 5 of the 6, beating Costa Rica, USA, and Honduras, which means we drew with Honduras, the team that finished in 3rd place. Also qualifying Mexico, Haiti, USA, Curacao and Cuba, all qualifying for the World Cup. Maybe Dominican Republic as well, but I feel like they might need to play a South American side. It is Peru. That's definitely a winnable game. It does mean, obviously, we will be going to the 2058 World Cup. I feel like we're never going to win this thing, but if we can get to, say, the quarterfinals, I think that's a good kind of bit of progression for us as a nation. Quarterfinals will be good. We're also playing in India. Fair enough. I also didn't check our world ranking, so we're actually 18th in the world, so we are still slowly climbing. USA are in 10th. We've got Mexico in 3rd. Mexico in 3rd? How are they so high up? I mean, it might be because we have the Mexican League loaded, and the longer you play Football Manager, the more likely leagues you have loaded will just start getting good, so that might be part of the reason why. But being up in 3rd place as Mexico is kind of ridiculous, right? Anyway, for Montego Bay United, 12 wins out of 12, a lovely 10-0 against Limehorn, a 15-0 against Boys Town. We are into the North American Champions League, and he said Gold Cup then. Champions League against Herediano or Charlotte FC. We have won the Caribbean Cup, because of course we have, and we're in the JFF Cup quarterfinal up against Mount Pleasant. It is a transfer window, we've got 23 million to spend. This is going down very quickly. We've only got 14 million in the bank. We might need to do some serious rethinking of our finances soon. Oh, and by the way, I'm terrible at this. I do this every now and then, I just completely forget. This is who we had locked in for the first half of the season, by the way. It's quite a lot of players. We had Cassidy as a right back, Tuati, Guadagno and Mutt. So our entire back four was locked in, but most of them couldn't actually play in the Jamaican Premier League games. We've also got Gonzalez as a defence midfielder, Bacola as the attack midfielder, and De La Tejera, again, can't remember, is that his name? He was our striker, and I feel like he wasn't registered for the Jamaican Premier League, which is why he's getting annoyed. No, he was registered, he just wasn't playing. Might mean that Fideli is going to get annoyed, though, because if De La Tejera is going to be playing, Fideli's going to get very annoyed. So he's just been locked in for January. I should probably mention. I should probably get better at recording video, shouldn't I? Anyway, it is January. The transfer window is open. Are we going to spend any money, or are we just going to sell some people? The answer is to just sell some people. We've bought nobody, we've loaned in nobody, and we've sold 2 players. Romano Cassidy is the first one moving over to Sampdoria. He's gone for 625, possibly going up to £825,000. 50% seller clause in this one. He just wasn't improving. So, you know what, an Italian side coming in for him. Sure, if he gets good there, we might get some money back. And a player that I was literally just talking about, Gabriel De La Tejera, has also left the club, signing for Al Duhail for a nice sum of money, £7.5 million, possibly going to £8 million, with a 50% sell-on clause here. He was getting annoyed he wasn't playing. He played a few matches, or 1 match, I think, in the league, in fact, and he scored a goal, but I went, you know what, Fideli's better at football. So, De La Tejera can leave the club. I said his name wrong and differently every single time. Financially, we're still not in a good way, okay? It's not helped at all. But just to confirm to you, no transfers in, only 2 players leaving. I feel like one of the reasons why we are struggling financially, Nunez is on 58 grand a week, Batista 53 grand a week, Bacola 48, 40 for Gomez, 39.5 for Palmer, Fideli's on 37.5. We've got some big wages. Batista will be leaving the club when his contract expires. I'm going to try and obviously get rid of him early. It was a silly thing to do. Last season we spent £950,000 on him. He just doesn't play. We've also got Nunez, who's on stupid money for how good he is. He's obviously going to be leaving when his contract expires. Bacola's sticking around. Gomez is sticking around. I think everyone else is going to stick around. Carlington Armstrong wants to leave when his contract expires. But again, we've got a year and a half on that one. Kevon Johns is on a reasonable amount of money, but he's a good goalkeeper, so I'm not too concerned about that. What I'm saying is, we are overpaying. We are definitely overpaying some of our players. And definitely underpaying some others. Courtney McClare is on £5,750 a week, and he's probably our best player on paper. So I've remembered to do it this time. This is what we're going to lock in for the second half of the season. Tuati, Guadagno and Mutt will be locked in because obviously Cassidy has left the club. Gazalbez will be in that defensive midfield role. Bacola will be the attack midfield role. And it leaves the striker position free for Fideli to basically score lots of goals. The right back position is probably just going to be filled by Kevin Roy, who's really good. He's just a really good footballer. And we don't have our World Cup draw just yet. But obviously I think this is the bigger World Cup, isn't it? So there's a lot of teams that we could be playing. I think I said this earlier, I was thinking quarterfinals. I kind of just want to get out of the group stages. I want to win the group. That'll be good. And the last thing before we jump to the end of the season is taking a look at our brand new director of football, Hector Irons. He's 44 years of age and he's just better than Bobby Clark. Bobby Clark was fun because it was Bobby Clark. He wasn't good at his job, however. Hopefully Hector's a little bit better. And by better, I mean he's better at kind of negotiating some of these prices. So this here, £875,000 is a Bobby Clark negotiation for this man who's worth £91 to £135 million. You probably, in all honesty, you want to add a couple of extra zeros on the end of that. Well, as you'd expect, we have won 26 out of 26 in the Jamaican Premier League. A bunch of, obviously, very good wins there. A positive 161 goal difference. North American Champions League semi-final up against fellow Jamaican side, Treasure Beach. Kind of want to lose it, but also don't want to lose it because we really should be winning this competition every single season. We're also in the JFF Cup final up against Treasure Beach. So Jamaica as a whole seems to be doing quite well. And speaking of Jamaica, we are obviously in a World Cup in just under 60 days. And we have our group. And we are in Group A with the hosts, India, New Zealand and Poland. I would have to expect we're probably going to win that group. And obviously, because we are playing the hosts, we will be in the World Cup opener against India. In front of, how big is this stadium? 72,000 capacity. We've also playing in front of 40,000 capacity as well against New Zealand. There's some very big stadiums in India. I don't quite know why. I'm assuming quite a lot of them are cricket stadiums that could also host football. I'm not sure though. Anyway, the World Cup is obviously going to be part of Season 34, not Season 33. So let's jump forward to the end of this season, see how well we do with Montego Bay United. I think we probably will play a couple of World Cup warm-up matches as well, maybe. Or have we played them? Finland and Czechia might have been those two matches. Is it going to be a clean sweep for our Montego Bay United side across the board? Then we've obviously won the Caribbean Cup. We've also won the JFF Cup, beating Treasure Beach 5-0. And we've won the Jamaican Premier League, beating Arnett Gardens 4-1. And finally, the North American Champions League final. We were up against Nashville. So we got past, was it Treasure Beach, wasn't it? And we absolutely dominated Nashville. Bacola with the opening goal of the game. We make it 2-0 very shortly after. His left-hand side is Diego Mutt, the Spaniard. Takes a touch, gets past his man, plays it on the ground. Eddie Gomez is there to make it 2-0. 21 minutes on the clock now, and we get our third of the game. It is Kevin Roy on that right-hand side, goes for a little run in the middle, finds Gonzalez, puts it in the opposite corner. And then very little happened for quite a while, and then on the 75th minute, I think it's Carlington Cohen with the penalty there, making it 4-0. We are still not done, however. Lopez crosses the ball in. Fideli is there, and the Italian heads past Matai in the Nashville goal, making it 5-0. And there is still one more goal of the game to go. Pereira gets it back from Diego Mutt. Mutt gets it back from Pereira down the line to Cohen. Can he find anyone in the middle? It's gone all the way through to Diego Gonzalez. And it is a 6-0 victory in the North American Champions League. A North American Champions League where we limited Nashville to literally just 2 shots, one of them being on target, and Cohen getting a 7.6 in goal, which doesn't make any sense at all, does it? I did just want to find out, it is Carlington Cohen. So he's come for a youth intake a few seasons ago, and actually 2053. He's not played much. He's only played 5 league games. But he's done some business in the final. Fair enough. So they have it, 4 trophies in the bag for Montego Bay United. What has happened with Jamaica? Nothing, because the World Cup hasn't started just yet. We are obviously qualified for the World Cup, but at the start of next season is when things will kick off. We do have some matches, however. Both of them away, nowhere near India. We're playing a match in Turkey, and then we're playing a match in France, and then we're off to India. What are we doing? Surely, just place 2 friendlies over Asia way, because we're based in Jamaica. 90% of our players play in Jamaica. They are not fit. This is literally the opposite time zone to what. It doesn't matter. It's a fictional game. This doesn't make sense. You surely wouldn't do this, would you? You'd play some teams over in Asia. You might play like a China or a Japan or someone like that. You wouldn't play Turkey and France in a pre-World Cup friendly a week before you have to be in India. Anyway, that was just me rambling on, having a very quick look at the Montego Bay players then. We've got Carlington Armstrong with 4 assists, 10 goals. Rodrigo Lopez from centre-back / defence midfielder, 10 assists, 13 goals. Johnny Palmer, 10 assists, 18 goals. Eddie Gomez, 18 assists and 22. Diego Gonzalez with 11 and 22. And then 2 players scoring 60 goals. 6 assists and 62 goals for Fideli. He's ridiculous. Is he going to be Italian soon? 2 years? Italian, he's already Italian. Jamaican soon. He's got 2 years to go. We've also got a lot of interest from Saudi Arabia. And then Bacola, 42 assists and 62 goals. That is 108 goal contributions in 43 matches. That is utterly ridiculous. 108 goal contributions in 42 matches. I do want to have a very quick look as well, assist-wise. So we've also got Aidan Goldsack is there with 10 assists. We've got Kevin Roy and Mutt, actually, only played 18 games. Got 17 assists. He's all right, isn't he? He's not amazing. He's getting better. I also completely neglected our youth intakes, which we've got a couple of half-decent players. We've got Kevin Brown, who is a striker, might be one for the future, 3.5-star potential. And we've also got Kamani Fang, who is a left-back / left wing-back. Again, might be one for the future. 2 decent young options. And also, some of these players might be okay. We don't need a goalkeeper. We've also got Marcelo Peralta. Might be alright. We've got ourselves an Argentine. Fair enough. So that is going to do it for Season 33. Season 34, we're off to India for a World Cup with Jamaica.